Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support, really do appreciate it. So today I didn't have an awful lot of time, unfortunately, so I thought I'll just do a quick decolarge one, and this is from the Seasons Greetings Decolarge, which is this year's one, and it's the one that's Twas the Night Before Christmas, with the Father Christmas with his sack. And I'm going to be using the base card, and I've already just put some 1mm foam pads all over the back. So let's pop that to the side for a second, and I'm going to be doing my favourite size card. You know it's going to be a 6x6. So I've got a piece of 6x12 cardstock, and I'm just going to score that in half. And then we'll fold it over, just making sure that goes straight, so it's wanting to go on the wonk a little bit, and it's not quite straight, so I'm just going to trim those edges off. I need to bring the trimmer in anyway, so that's no big deal. So we'll pop that on, bring that off. That should be 6x6, and it is. Okay, so I need to bring in some gold memory cards, so the foiling is all gold, so we're just going to bring that in, and I'm going to come two notches under the 6, and 2 notches under the 6. We'll just see how that fits on, like so, and I'm happy with that. Put those bits to the side, and then I'm going to take this backing sheet and my usual 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under that 6, same on that side, so just so we've got that nicely matte and layer there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to bring in is going to be a piece of the Snowfall acetate. There we go. And I'm going to bring this to 2 notches under the 6 that way. So we have got a nice long strip that we can use on something else later on. And so the actual piece that we're covering is the 2 notches under the 6, so I want to add 1/2 inch so that it bows a little, and then there. So actually, should we go for the whole inch? We'll go for a big bow, so I'm going to go 2 notches under the 8, and again we've got another big decent sized piece there. Pop that one down. I'm going to bring the scoreboard back in, and then on here, so we've got it on the long side at the top. I'm just going to score it 1/2 inch just to give me that tab to pop behind, and turn it around and do the same on the other side. I'm just going to burnish those down quite nicely. They do want to hold really well. It's a decent weight of acetate, and I'm just going to pop that over, just make sure it's not too much of a bow. I think that's going to be fine. Just going to check whether I want that to be. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that just another 1/2 inch smaller. So if I just mark 1 inch there, give that a good burnish down. We'll see what that looks like. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, it's a gentler bow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just pop that off, and obviously the bigger the bow that you have, the bigger the box you're going to need to put your card in. So just going to line that up nice and straight and just trim that off. So I'll just give you the proper measurements on that. So it was 7.5 by 2 notches into the 6, I believe. Yeah, so 7.5, and then I've scored 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, so let's pop that to the side for a second, and let me bring in that topper. So I haven't decided which way around I wanted to do this. I kind of had thought that I might like to bring a little bit of red ribbon in. So I always feel like the ribbon gives a little bit of luxury. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll go that way. Okay, so let's just trim this properly to size, and then we can start to assemble. So I want to do all the assembling on here before I stick the acetate onto the back of it, so it's just going to be easier this way. So I'm going to use my all-purpose glue. So as always, you remember I tell you just to be a little bit careful with the mirror card. Don't go too close to the edge because it can take that shine off. And we can pop that down like so. And I just put a bit of tacky glue on the corners just to give it a bit of a quicker stick. So I like the all-purpose because it's a very permanent stick. And it moves around, but sometimes I don't want it to move around quite so long, so that's when I usually just pop a little bit of tacky glue on the corners. So tacky glue will work with this card. It's not going to be a problem, but it's just not my preferred glue, if I'm honest with you. 100% all-purpose is my favourite glue. Just because of the strength that it gives the card once it's dry, because it just gives it that little bit of rigidity. Again, something that I've said before. And I was hoping that they would have a, because they've got some big event going on over at Crafters Companion at the moment, and I was hoping that they would have the actual like a 3-pack of it. A good deal, but so far I haven't seen one. But it's just started, so we will see. Okay, so I've just put some red liner tape on there just to pop that ribbon on the back, nice and secure. Okay, so this one's going to come across. I'm going to pop a bow on there anyway. I think, shall I go flat and then just do all of the layers? Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So for this one I will use the tacky glue, just because we're going to be putting all of those layers on straight away, and I'm sort of putting it on just off center like so. Okay, and you can see there are a lovely amount of layers to this, and very detailed decoupage. And the beauty of these decoupages is that if you wanted, let me just pop that out, if you wanted to use the backing sheet as a layer, I'll show you what I mean, because it sounds like I'm talking nonsense. So the backing piece here, this also will decoupage on there, so you've got those 2 options there. If you didn't want to use all the decoupage on here, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see how I split this decoupage up, because they do give you so much. My mum was a believer sorry, excuse me, my mum was a believer that you should use all the layers. I am not. I like to spread it out, but every now and then I do like to make something. If it's going in a dome, then you know you might as well use them all up. Because if you've gone to the trouble of making a dome, it's a special card. Okay, so I'm just popping all of these out, popping them to the side, all of these little bits as well. So I've got the cuff, I've got the edge of his hat, I've got a bit of a building, got an arm. I think I've got a pad on that snow, that ball. So I might leave that off. That's just from his hat. I've got another cuff, and I may not still even pop all of these on, but I'm popping them out, and we'll see how far we get. And there we go. I think that's it. All that's left is the little ball for his hat. We might come back for that. We will see. Okay. So the trick of this is to take the largest image. So you can see you've got these ones. They do look quite similar, but you can see on this one we've cut that. They've cut that bit away for you. So this one, the biggest piece, always goes at the back. So I've got a bit there that I need to pop out, but it's still not as big as that one. Yes, you can see you've got that chimney there. Okay, so if you're in any doubt on the layers, what you can do is pop them out, lay them on top of each other so that you can see where the little ones go. So obviously the little ones are going to be closer to you on the top, and then number them just lightly with a pencil on the back. And then when you come to pop them all down, you'll find that they're all in the right place. And these ones are easy to sort of line up because you've got this edge on here that's going to show you where they go. So you can line that up with the bottom and then line it up with the picture. And you can see we've got this chimney popping out down here. I'm quite a big fan of decollage, really. I could actually just sit and do the whole lot in a day. It's quite relaxing, you know. Because I think because it's all thought out for you, so you don't really have to think about anything in regards to these. You know, like all of these layers are all worked out. It's not like you've got to cut bits off. Like you do with some decoupage, or if you're using a little book and you want to work out for yourself. So it's all done for you. So really it's just so relaxing just to sit and pop these bits on. Okay, so again we've got this edge to line up. So pop him on, line that up, and you can see he's coming away from that chimney now. So let's see what's next. So we've got a full two-legged Father Christmas, so this one will be next. And once you've done a few of these, it gets really easy to tell by eye where they go. And in actual fact, if you miss a layer out, there's no harm, because like I said before, I do quite often split it out over the two images and put one on here, one on that base layer like I showed you. So, and if you go back a couple of videos, I think I did exactly that with two other sets of these. Okay, so here's our Father Christmas. We're going to pop him on, line up his feet, line up the presents. And there he goes. You can see him coming out. You can see his arm has gone to the back there. And just pop that. Just peeling all of these bags off. If you don't want to use foam pads, you can use your Canal-free deglue gel, which is quicker really, because you just pop it in a syringe and just pop a bit on each layer, layer it up. You don't get the evenness that you get with pads, so with pads you get an even distance, but you don't get that with the glue gel, because obviously you have to work it out by eye, and you know, you don't put the same amount on each time, because it's just humanly impossible to put the same amount on each time. But the benefit with the glue gel is that you can shape these more. I mean, you can shape them with pads and put an extra pad in the middle if you want to. But I always feel if you're going to go for the shaped look, then the glue gel is probably the best way to go. But leave it sort of overnight or something just to set. Not quite his leg in the right place. So I'm just lining up his foot, his head and the sack on his back. So he's really starting to come out for this picture now. And I just put the tacky glue on here just to give me a little bit of wiggle time, and it just also secures my layers as well with the foam pads there. If there's any sort of heat in the room and the foam pad shrinks, then that glue has got my back, and make sure that they still stay attached. And just keep on going. And it's just the little bits and pieces after this. Bear with me, I'm just going to sneeze. Apologies, thank you. Okay. Are you all been enjoying the hot weather? I know Francis has had her kiddies down, the grandkids down, because it's the holiday, so I bet you guys are all nice and busy with your families. I've been watching, so excuse me sniffing, quite a lot of Gina K videos last couple of days, so I'm really enjoying watching her at the moment. Quite like the cards that she's making, quite different to what I do. Well, obviously she has her own products and things, which I have none of. I don't know if they're even available in the UK. I guess they would be somewhere. You know, they always sort of make their way over here, don't they? So it's just little bits on here that are just really not fiddly, but I had to cut up the pad to sort of get them in. Just going to pop that little window on. There we are. And then we've got an arm. Just pop that on. I mean, I always watch Spellbinders. Well, I watch quite a lot of Spellbinders. Yana, especially. What have we got here? We've got a foot. It's just you could lose yourself for hours really by just going through YouTube with the amount of amazing people doing bits and pieces. So I'm not going to do that one. I think there. Yeah, I might do this one. And I think that I'm going to leave it at that. So leave those bits, get to that. And grab my tweezers. Just put that under there we go. Okay, so that's where we are at with this. Okay, so if I grab the actual sheet, okay, so apology, I'm not the wiring it to the camera out. So we've got "Twas the night before Christmas, may your days be merry and bright." I don't think I'm going to go for one of the big ones because I think, which is this one, "Wishing you a magical festive season," because I think that's just too big for what we've got here. And I've got a couple of choices really, so I can either pop it on here, sort of somewhere up here maybe, with some gems, a bow, or I can pop it on the front. Let's have a look, see how that would look. I think we'll pop it on the front actually. We'll do that with some red liner tape in a minute. So I do want to put a bow on there, but I want to use glue gel, so this is going to go up in this corner, I think, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to use the Pinfile glue gel. And if I do this now and then I'm turning it over to put this on, putting it on here, etc., it's going to smudge that glue. So it's going to be easier for me to just pop a little bit of glue and pop it under the acetate and put that into position than, actually I'm just going to cut that down a little bit there, than try to keep it intact. But what I will do is pop some gems on, so these can go on. So I'm just going to pop 2 there, and I'm going with these lovely bright red ones. I think I'll do a really lovely big one and a small one. Come on, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is turn that round, straighten those up, and I'm going to put 3 blue ones on this side. So we've got the blue there, you see, so we've got the red on that side because we've got the red here, and then we've got this blue pearl, and these are Hunkydory ones. I think they must have come in one of Mum's Christmas boxes maybe. She might have ordered them. I'm not sure off the top of my head. So I'm just going to use these teeny tiny doorbells, which I think were on offer if I remember rightly from Friday. I don't know if they still are. It might have been yesterday. I know I'd seen them on there quite recently. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is just pop that to the side. We'll let those gems settle. Oh, that glue does dry clear, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. There's a little score down. And then we're going to bring in our red liner tape. If I open those back up again, I know I've just squished them down, but I need to get this tape on. So I'm not going to be using any of the glue, so it will just be this red liner tape that I am using on here, on the acetate. Okay. So I'm going to give that a good press down. And again there. It should just go over quite nicely again. Then I'll move that out of the way. So I'm just going to take the red liner tape off one side and on the other side just going to peel it back just a tiny bit, just so I can grab that end when I put that through. So we're going to pop this in and just super carefully put it right up to the edge and then press that down so you can see that's sticking on that side there. Okay, and then I can grab that end that I did, pop that in, and I want to glue that in nice and straight right to the edge, and then pop that down, and then we've got that nice little bow there. Okay, so now what I can do is just take another piece of this super sticky red liner tape, just because it is the best thing to stick the acetate to my actual card blank. Just give it a good little press down, try not to squish anything, move anything on the other side. You can see my gem has moved there. I'm just going to carefully move that. There we go. So I think the best way to put this on the card is going to be as a tent fold. Okay, so if I put it that way, it's going to pull the card forward because I've done my mats the 2mm that I usually do smaller. So if you're going to do it exactly the same, the 6x6, then you know it's going to be fine doing that way. But because I've done that just a little smaller because I just want that little bit of white space round, if I do it as a tent fold this way, what it's going to do is just give that card a little bit of support. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand carefully under there. Just need to take these tapes off, which is not wanting to do. Come on now. There we go, so we've got one. And another one this side. And this one might be a little bit trickier because with glue it's just going slightly over the edge. So let's just tuck that under. And then I'm going to bring in my all-purpose there for the middle. Just making sure I'm going over that ribbon, just make sure that gets stuck in. Now obviously we've only got one go at this, so I'm going to make sure we get that nice and straight. There we go, give that a press down. Okay, and then we've got our card that's sitting nicely on there. So just got a little bit of glue coming at the top, so just squish that down. Okay, so then we've got this piece here which we decided was going to go in the middle, so I'm just going to use my hands just to give that a little bit of a bend, and that's just going to make that sit nicer onto there. And I'm just going to pop, actually I think I might just go with the thinner one used for other things. Okay, so I'm hoping it's not cut out all of that. So I'm just going to do a super quick recap while I'm putting some glue gel on the back of here. So basically what I've done is I have put my acetate onto here using my super sticky tape. So just put that under. And I've done that so that my card sits that way up, just to give it that extra bit of support. Because I've done that the 2mm smaller like I usually do. If you do it exactly the same size, if you do it 6x6, it will sit better, or it will sit okay as a card that way. But because I've done it slightly smaller, it just gives it better support if you do it as a tent fold, I feel. But if you feel different, it's not a problem, no rules. I've said it before. I've added my bow on, and then I've just added that to the whole card blanks and then pop the bow on last, just to complete things. The only thing left to do, which I will do off camera, is to just pop a quick insert inside, and that will finish it. You could, if you wanted, do some gems on the outside, but I kind of feel we've got those gems on the inside, so they're nice and protected there, so I don't really need to do anything else. So that's the card for today. Like I say, I didn't have a bit time poor today, so I haven't really got a lot of time to do multiple cards. So and I was going to do a Crafter's Companion video, and they just tend to take a lot longer, so we'll try and do that next time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.